Guys, I think horizontal pushes really help people that don't do push-ups very well. More importantly, I think it really helps people stabilize their spine and help really learn how to activate their core. You know, when you look at the abdominals, they're stabilizers. But more importantly, they're stabilizing the lumbar spine from going into too much lumbar extension. And I think most of us understand that. But how do we get that to neurologically be reflexive? I think horizontal pushes are a great way to go ahead and do that. And by manipulating your base of support and with a little bit of cueing, I think you can really get that to start engaging. Let me show you a couple things I'll do to help really teach people how to really activate the core. First of all, if I see a person that has a lot of lumbar extension when they're pushing, I'm going to immediately go ahead and put them into a staggered stance. By putting them into a staggered stance, I put their lumbar spine in a much more neutral position, okay? Because now L5 is sitting on S1 and it has to stay neutral. It has to stay there because one of my side of my pelvis is forward, one of my side of my pelvis is backwards. So as a result of that, L5 stays in the middle. So now I can get a good stabilization and they can work at learning how to really engage a good push. Now, from there, I'll go to pause. So what I like to do is press out and hold. Pause and really learn how to stabilize that lumbar spine and draw that trunk in, because it's right here where the abdominals really got to do their job. Now, the flip side of that is when they go to push, their trunk lets go. So what I like to do in that case is I like to go ahead and set them and pause here, and we'll do pause push-ups where they have to engage by squeezing their butt, especially the backside butt, really draw the trunk in, and then bang, really try to press out and hold. Control it coming back, pause. Now the key is to make sure there's enough tension on the band behind you so that when I get into this position, I'm already getting loaded. Now, that might mean you have to go to a lesser band so that they can put a good pre-stretch on the exercise so that they can engage. So right now my trunk is engaged because the band is pulling me back. I set my butt, set my abdominals, bang, drive on out, bring it back controlled. That starts teaching them how to stabilize through their lumbar spine by activating their core before they push. Very important. Now, taking the staggered stance, the next step, you try to shorten it up. You try to make it a smaller staggered stance, so now they have to learn how to do it with a shorter staggered stance. Ultimately, you want to get them to a parallel stance. A parallel stance with a pre-stretched band is going to really engage your trunk. You're going to have to keep that rib flare down, keep that trunk tight, and then right before you press out, push it out. Now you're going to get some lean. You're going to get some body lean. I'm okay with that as long as I'm not getting that lumbar extension when I go to push. Engage the trunk, squeeze the butt, draw on the abdominals, bang, hold. Bring it back controlled. Draw it in, hold, bang, draw it in, back. Do those types of movements. Slow the repetition down, really get the trunk engaged, teach them what it feels like to have an engaged trunk by pre-stretching the band and start there. And if they can't do it in a parallel stance, move them to a staggered stance so they learn how to do it there and then slowly take the staggered stance away.